welcome to the Ashe Academy's Inspire, Uplift, Engage podcast featuring New York-based actress, writer, mom, and my dear friend, Nefertiti Warren. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thanks for
Uh,
having me.
we are so happy to have you. We definitely want to discuss your first published book, Heart of a Dream. However,
Okay.
I want to talk about your journey before we get into that. So, how are you introduced to the arts?
Um, I've always loved the arts as a kid. Just watching TV and stuff like that, that was always something kind of magical to me, just like seeing people play different characters and stuff.
Mhm.
And I officially did a drama club in high school. And my first play was my senior year of high school. And that's when I was like, okay, like I love this, I can do this, I really enjoy it. And from there, like college, that was my major in theater. I started out at Northeastern University. I did that for a year. Yeah, but then it was a little too expensive. And they were like, you're from New York, all the theaters are in New York. Why are you here? I was like, I wanted the going away experience. They were like, yeah, but you can't afford it, so go home. I was like, okay, bye. Took a year off, and then I finished at City College, and I continued, woo, City College alums. Then I continued doing theater there. So it was first in high school that I actually took action on taking drama and being a part of the arts.
Now, was there any like standout teacher or professor that kind of pushed
Oh
you
my
through
God.
theater?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that question. Mr. Smith, shout out to Mr. Emmett Smith from Trevor Day School. I love him to pieces so much. He is an amazing teacher. He's one of those people that when you're talking to him, he truly listens. Like he is engaged with you, and you feel like everything that you're saying is amazing and is important, you know?
Mhm.
And because we're always so distracted, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we don't mean it, but sometimes it happens that even with our eyes looking away, he does not take his focus off you. He's listening and is so attentive. And he's an actor as well, and his performances are brilliant, and he's so committed and devoted. So thanks to Mr. Smith, I always told him one day if I get an Oscar, I'm gonna shout him out on the podium as well. So Mr. Smith was really he was the one who put me
Awesome.
on
Awesome.
everything. Yeah.
Now, speaking of Oscar speeches, do you already have like something ready to go just in case you win an award? You're like, I already got it.
Nope, not at all. No, I don't have nothing pre-written. It'll be beautiful, I guess, in the moment, based on whatever the times are. You know, I definitely want to make a speech with any award that will be impactful, you know, will be something that viewers can take away from and be inspired by, you know. And, you know, if I got to touch on the times, I'm going to touch on the times, but I want it to be one of those speeches that, you know, the ones that people save and they're like, that resonated with me. So we'll see what happens.
So that kind of gets us perfectly into the, encouraging aspect of your book. And let me show it for
Um,
everyone. Heart of a Dream, beautiful book. Kind of get us to your journey to getting to like writing the book.
Well, I've actually always loved writing too. Like as early as elementary school, I would write poems. I had assignments where I would write like a little short story. One day I was cleaning the house and I found this little, my first book was like this best friend's book, and it was talking about what a best friend was. And I don't know what grade that was, but I've always had a love for writing. Like I love words because I believe words are powerful. You know, people always want to say, "Oh, sticks and stones, words." No, words are powerful. Like there is life and death in the tongue, and I choose
Oh,
life
wow.
with, you know, hey, we're just gonna preach for a second, and I choose life with my words, and I love words, and there's so many words in the world. So yeah, so I just always had a love for writing, and with the book. I can't even remember what year the seed was planted in my heart, but it truly was purposed to me by God. like I can't even take like full credit for it, because the thought just came to me, and the thought came to me based off of, so I'm a theater person, right? I had all my theater friends. And then a lot of times there would be people who just didn't continue on with their journey. And that happens so often with the arts. Um, and I was like, dang, because these people are super talented, like
Yeah.
I'm like rooting for them to this day. I still in my head, I'm like, okay, if I make it on the big time level, and I say big time in quotes because I have learned to appreciate where I am. I learned to acknowledge that I have made it in certain successes already.
Hmm.
Sometimes, this is a little sidebar, sometimes I feel like we don't feel like we've arrived until we get to this grand place, but you still have to celebrate, the things that you're doing now. Like, I am a professional actor. I couldn't have said that years ago. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yes,
I
yes.
celebrate that. But so in seeing a lot of my friends who just weren't able to continue because life gets in the way, you got to pay your bills, you got to do whatever, you know what I mean? And it always like made me a little sad, because I'm like, these people are so talented. I don't ever want them to give up. And so I was saying that I hope that one day when I'm able to, I'm like, there's a role for you. Like, I have a role for
Hmm.
you, even if it's just one film, one scene. You have to do something, because I don't want you to ever give up on this talent of yours that I've seen you have. So in that, I wanted to inspire people to never give up on their dreams, particularly artists, even though I wrote it as like, it's a fable, so it's friendly for children, but I still wrote it with artists in mind so that they don't give up on their dreams, and also to encourage the children as well to never give up on their dreams.
So let's get into the program that you've kind of developed outside of the book, kind of working with kids as well.
Yeah, so I developed an encouragement packet, which includes what I like to call an encouragement plan instead of a lesson plan, and an activity list or an activity packet. And I designed that because, being that we're all quarantined and have been for so long, and everybody's homeschooling, I'm a mom, I have a 6-year-old. He hasn't been in school since March. So all the parents know the struggle. And a lot of my mom friends, they had been feeling overwhelmed, or just seeing other people on social media, friends of friends that are feeling overwhelmed. And I was like, oh man, I want to create something that will inspire the parents too, and create something that gives them a good bounce pad to go off of with their child or children, because I feel like when you're in a positive mindset, or have some source of positivity, that makes all the difference. So I created this lesson plan to go with the book, and it goes along with each chapter. And there's questions geared for younger kids or older kids, and you can ask your child either question. If you feel like this question, they can be asked that as well. For the babies, obviously you can't ask them any questions, but I still encourage parents to read the book to them, and like read them a bedtime story, plant the seed in their mind to, not give up on their dreams. And there's also a parent corner in the encouragement packet. And I wanted that section particularly so that parents don't feel left out. So it gives them some gems and some tools for teaching. Whenever I read books and have read books to my son, I always loved if there were, those like questions, recommended questions that you can
Mhm.
ask your child afterwards. And I'm like, oh, this is great, because it engages you, it engages your child, it starts a dialogue, and so on and so forth. So I like to incorporate that with the book too, so that the parents can have something, so they don't feel like, oh, what should I ask them? It's like, well, here are some questions that you can choose from, and if you like, you can ask them this, and then hopefully it'll just inspire you to ask some more questions and really talk to them and engage with them, because they're little people and they have brains and feelings and all of that. So really engage and connect with them on a level that you maybe didn't have before this quarantine, because it's like, we're all in the house together. So let's build this relationship and this
Mhm.
bond with positivity.
And who knows what dreams they haven't pursued themselves as a parent, and
Right,
who knows what kind of
right,
journey they've led to maybe have to give up on something to out of sheer survival. So that's really
exactly.
inspiring. That could resonate with a lot of people.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I don't want to spoil anything in the book, so we won't give
Okay,
too many details, but there
all
is a
right.
challenge in there. So I
Yes.
do want to discuss kind of what led you to include a challenge in the course of a book. We won't say how long the challenge runs for or
Okay.
anything to spoil it, but yeah, what led you to include that in the book?
Okay, I feel like I can answer this without giving too much
Yeah.
away. So just a little information about the challenge. It is based around one of the characters in the book. His name is Life, and he is being tested at this point in the story.
By the way, I
And
love every name in the book. By the way, every character's name, I was like, yes, there we
thank
go.
you. Thank you. Yeah, you know, so it's like, so the main character is a dream. Her best friend is Soleil. She lives in the sky. They have a friend, Wishes. And when she gets to Earth, she meets Life. And his best friend is Victory. And they go at it with bullies named Doubt and Hardship. So that's a little taste. But yeah, so that part of the story that Life is going through, he's being tested. And that particular test is a test of patience. And so I think I can say that without giving it
Hmm.
away. And
Hmm.
I wanted to put that in there because I really wanted people to sit and be patient, you know, within themselves, to have that experience. Because a lot of times in life, whether it's as an artist or just as a human being, we are uncomfortable with the waiting period because, you know, we want to see the results. And you have to learn how to deal with that, how to cope with that, how to manage that in a positive way for your mental, because we can't control everything. We can't control our outcomes or when they will happen, you know. So if you're able to tackle that test of patience with Life, then you really feel even more connected to Life in this story. And then it's a way that it can really and truly give you an actual experience that you can relate to him. Like, I went through this test of patience with Life. Like, you know, you just become a part of it. So yeah.
And I want to ask, have you been tested in a similar way to this test of patience?
Oh yeah. I mean, every day is a test of patience, you know, because so currently my biggest success as an actor is having been in commercials. And my ultimate goal with acting is to be in film and television. So I'm still headed in that direction, and I still have to have patience with the journey, you know, and I have faith that, okay, it's coming. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep at it. However, when is it going to get here? We don't know, but I'm not going to get upset. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to beat myself up or say, why is my life not taking off now like so and so? Or, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to
Yeah.
do that because I know that my time is coming. I'm thankful for my time when it does come. And yeah, and I'm just not going to get into my head and start to nitpick as if what's already happening isn't good enough, you know?
Mhm. That definitely resonates with me because at the time of this recording, the Ashe Academy is almost 2.5 years old. So
Yay!
there's
First
been
of
a
all,
lot
I'm
of
so proud
patience.
of you.
Thank you.
I'm
So
sorry.
I'm very proud of you as well. Don't even get
Thank
us
you.
started on back and forth, because we have been through a lot over the years. It has been
Yeah.
over 10 years, but
Hey.
yeah, I kind of want to get into my favorite quote, which kind of amplifies this point. So from the book, there is no beginning, no end. If all you have is what you're looking for, you'll find it once again.
Mhm.
So what is your favorite quote or part of the book?
That's a good question. My favorite part of the book? Hmm. Man, oh, you got me good. That's a good one. I think one of my favorite parts of the book is, with life being tested and oh man, I don't want to give stuff away, but another test that he goes through, the test after patients, right? You know what I'm talking about. The
Mm-hmm.
test after
Y'all
patients.
gotta read this book. Get your copy. Get your copy.
Yeah, that test, you know what, I'll just say it because it's not going to give away too much,
Mm-hmm.
right? What do you think, right?
Go for it.
Okay. So the test after patients is a test that he battles with fear. And that's my favorite part of the book because when I read it over and when I've read it over, it like fills me up and inspires me to say, don't you let none of these fears, none of these doubts, none of these nothings try to seep in and steal your joy and steal your progression and steal your productivity. You got to keep pushing through and don't listen to any of those thoughts because a lot of the times it's a lie. It's
Mm-hmm.
a whole lie, either by someone else or that you've made in your head because you're scared to keep going, even though you really want to. And just being able to push through that is such a powerful and victorious moment, and that inspires me when I think about life. Like I'm proud of life. Like even though I wrote it, I feel like I'm proud of you, life. Like I'm proud of him. I'm proud of myself for overcoming fears. So that's something that's my favorite part.
Awesome. All right. So more on the inspirational or aspirational point for any other authors out there. Kind of want to talk about the process of kind of like publishing a
Mm-hmm.
novel. So this is your first one. So what was
Yes.
that process of outside of just creating it, like getting it out to the masses? Because we can go online and buy it now. So
Right.
that's
You
monumental.
can. You know what? You're absolutely right. So the first thing I did was I made sure to get it copywritten. And that was actually cool because when I researched like copywriting, you could actually already have published a book, but then like you can have a physical copy of the book,
Hmm.
and then send that physical copy to the government pretty much so that they can have like an actual copy. I think you have to send like 2 copies, so they can have an actual copy of the book. I think in the online process, if I remember correctly, I did have to send like a PDF of the book as well, so they could be like, okay, but then you send like a physical copy too. I might be getting that
Okay.
wrong. But anyway, I had it copywritten. So that's the first thing. You got to copyright your work. Um, and then I actually self-published through Barnes& and Noble Press. And it was really easy for me because they walk you through everything, which is dope. Through all of the formatting and through your cover and through
So
what type of book. Yeah, like, what type of paper you want, what size book. And if you want your book to have illustrations, if you don't have an illustrator, they link you to people who are artists and who can draw. With this book, I didn't go that route.
mhm.
I just did the words. But if you want to connect with an illustrator, you can, and they'll link you to people. You can even have like a contest for the book, and that way it's kind of like a little cheaper to get someone who's a dope illustrator. You can kind of see their work and
Mhm.
what would actually relate to your story, which I thought was amazing. But yeah, Barnes& and Noble Press just walked me through it. It was time consuming, the formatting, because you have to make sure the margins on the pages are correct so that when it prints out properly. I actually print out the book like maybe 1 or 2 times beforehand because it's like you're reading the words over and over and over. And then I
Mm.
get the book and I'm like, dang it, why is this period here? So it's like you have to redo some things. Um, but it was great. I would use them again. And also with Barnes& and Noble Press, they allow you to sell online, but it's only through their online site.
Mhm.
And then once you sell a certain amount of copies, then you can actually have shelf space in their stores, which is
Hmm.
amazing. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So what is something that you wish you knew then that you know now?
In terms of like writing the book or in general?
Any part of the journey.
Um, hmm. Something I wish I knew then that I know now. I think not so much more that I knew it, but just to continue walking in confidence, because I always have faith, and I'm not a person that regrets too much. Yeah. I was gonna say, if anything, like I don't really have too many regrets because the way that I choose to, perceive it all is that it's all a part of a bigger picture. It's sure things can be uncomfortable in the moment, but then I've had many experiences where a year later I'm like, oh, so I see why that happened because now I'm here.
Exactly.
Got it. Heard you. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, cool. So because of that, I don't regret a lot. Even now with or before COVID-19 happened, when I was regularly auditioning, as an actor, there's gonna be hundreds of auditions that you go on, and you're not going to book all of them. It's just a numbers game, and that just is what it is. And I'm fine with that because I'm like, okay, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And I tell myself after every audition, if it's for me, it's for me, and can't nobody take it away, not even me. Because there's even been times when I might have had an audition that I'm like, my energy wasn't as amazing as it could have been, but then I'm probably got a call back and I'm like, okay, so if it's for me, it's for me. It can't nobody take it away, not even me. Because even if I thought I messed it up, it's like they probably still see something, or you just fit the part aesthetically that they're looking for. So I don't regret. And it's just, but in saying that, I wish before I had more confidence because there have certainly been more times when I was younger that I've been a little bit more shy. And I feel like, I guess that's also the journey of life, like not life, my character, but like life itself, where you truly like arrive in yourself. It's a process, I'm in my 30s, if I can say that. I'm in my 30s, but I'm just now starting to feel more coming into womanhood. Like, to be completely honest, like womanhood, adulthood. I'm a whole mom. I have a 6-year-old, but even then and still now more and more I feel more confident as just a woman and as an adult. And it just takes time. So I would wish that I, had a little bit more of the confidence, earlier on than now. But it's good that I'm here now. So
There we go. There we go. So, kind of jumping from that point, is there any advice you would give someone who is considering going into the arts and like what they should brace themselves for? You've mentioned a lot of things, a lot of the potential no's, but yeah, any specific advice you would give anybody going into any kind of art form?
First of all, you have to love it. Do it because you love it. Don't let anyone make you love it any less. You know, yes, especially if you choose the route as an actor and you have auditions, there are going to be tons of auditions that you don't get. And for us, sometimes it can really play with our ego or our self-worth of our talent, but that's not the case, especially for something like acting. Like, it's the littlest things the littlest things that can cause a casting director to cast someone over the next person, or the client to pick someone over the next person. And that doesn't mean that you couldn't have got it too. You have to also remember that arts are subjective as well. So this is this person's vision of who this character is, or this role for this commercial, et cetera, or this voice for a voiceover, like it's still all perspective and a matter of opinion of who they see fit to play this part. So do it because you love it. Don't let anyone make you love it any less. And just constantly remind yourself that what's for you is for you. As long as you don't give up, you will get there. You know, sometimes with our dreams, we assume that they're just going to happen like kind of almost in the time frame of now because that's where we are in the present. Like if
Hmm.
you're dreaming, you're kind of seeing yourself kind of probably the age you are already or not too far off.
Hmm.
But our dreams might happen. They just might happen a little bit later than you thought they would have happened, or in a different way than you thought they would have happened. You know, it's so funny because although I've always loved writing, I've also written monologues and have been working on some like web series and some scenes and things and a short play with my acting company, The Characters, right?
Hmm.
And although I've always loved writing, I've never thought that my writing would be the thing that could like take me into places, which is a weird thing to not think. You know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
just like, you know, I was just always so focused on, okay, performance. Like I'm an actor and I'm performing this.
Exactly.
But it's like, you know, I love writing too. And a lot of people have liked the things that I have written, thankfully. And so this has taken me to places, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like, oh, okay. So you don't know how your dream is actually going to unfold or if another talent or another connection is going to take you in a route that eventually gets you, you know?
Hmm.
So don't worry about the how. Don't nitpick about what it looks like. Don't nitpick over timing
Hmm.
because man, timing is not yours. You do not own time. And yeah,
How
just
many
don't ever
deadlines we've
give up.
set for ourselves? Like by 25, by this
Listen,
year. This year is my
listen.
year. 2020 said nope.
No, thank you. Check that again. Shoot, I set deadlines now. Like, oh, I'm gonna have this written and done by tomorrow. And I'm like, I don't even know why I set deadlines anymore. Like, I'm just setting myself up.
Oh man.
But you know, so it's like just don't quit. You know, even if you have to take a pause, even if you have to take a break, even if you have to take a reroute, just don't ever quit. And also, I would tell young people to keep positive people around you and like-minded people around you that are motivating to you, that really feed you on a high energy vibration. You know, you got to have good folk around you. Otherwise, you're not going to evolve as a person in the arts. You're not going to evolve as just a human being. You know what I mean? They're not going to push you or anything like that. So definitely keep a good circle around you.
Amazing, amazing. All right. So this is, as you know, the Ashe Academy's Inspire, Uplift, Engage podcast. So we have some final questions regarding those. So let's get into it. Who
Okay.
is your biggest inspiration?
So I don't really have like one person that's my biggest inspiration. I admire a lot of people. I would say anybody whose energy is that of just a positive vibe, just but like a strong, confident belief in themselves, in their dreams, in other people's dreams as a human being. Um, you know, people who just radiate love. People like that inspire me. Like, for example, like Will Smith, Alicia Keys, you know, those people, they just permeate that sense of just like a higher vibration of love and happiness and joy and peace. And that reflects in their success, I feel like.
Mhm.
So if ever anybody has that type of aura, I'm inspired by that because I'm like, ooh, my spirit just connects to that. And I want to be around that and all of that goodness. So
Awesome, awesome. Now, okay, so who do you hope to uplift with your work?
I hope to uplift, honestly, whoever, you know, my work is for, it's going to be for them. And I hope to uplift anybody who needs the message. And I know that's like very general, but it's so true because I understand that, everything ain't for everybody. Like Jill Scott said in one of her songs, everything is not for everybody, and that's okay. So for the people who can take something away from it, for the people who do need some encouragement, particularly with my book, who need to be reminded to try again with their dream or to not quit, I want to inspire them. For the children, I want them to know that they can have a dream, they can believe in it, they can make it happen no matter what it is, no matter how hard it is, especially in the arts. Because, oftentimes with arts, people kind of feel like, oh, that's not that important. Be a doctor, be a lawyer, you know what I'm saying? Do something secure and stable with your life, do something with yourself.
Yeah.
But then you think about it, and we're in this pandemic, we're in quarantine, and we look to the arts for a sense of joy, to
Yes.
uplift us. The arts are so therapeutic and so healing. Don't ever let someone make you feel like your dream, whatever it may be, is less than, because it was purpose to you and it was given to you for a reason. Like, somebody, anything that's been invented or any program that's been created, somebody had that dream in their head and they did it. And then, for the people that receive it, it's like, wow, great. And it's helping other people. So
Mhm.
it's like, I just want to inspire the people to believe in their dreams, because it's there for a reason, and it's your duty and your responsibility to see it through, because you don't know how your dreams are going to be a blessing to others. We just think of how it's going to bless us, but your dreams are there to help others as well. So,
Amazing. Okay, so the last question is, how do you stay engaged with your motivation?
how do I stay engaged with my motivation? Like, as far as like what keeps me motivated,
Mm-hmm.
um, a lot lately. I have been really doing self work. Again, this is quarantine 2020. So, it's forced me to do self work and to go in. And I've found a new level of patience myself, just with myself, being kinder to myself, really listening to my body. If I'm tired, it's okay to rest. Like sometimes we be trying to go, go, go and push, 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 but it's like you will burn yourself out. And as a mother, I can't burn myself out. That's not going to be helpful to my child, to me. I'm cranky. Like, that's not a good look. So I stay motivated by getting the rest that I need, by filling myself with positive energy, positive sources. I've been reading this book called Higher Daily, and it talks all about how everything is energy and everything has vibrations. So you want to go to the things that vibrate on a high and positive level, and to kind of remove yourself from the things that vibrate lower. Don't go
Hmm.
low, go high. So I've been seeking that out. I like to listen to meditation music. It really like helps me out, especially if I just want to be relaxed or calm. I sage. I do all of the things to keep my positive vibes on
Amazing, amazing.
100. Yeah.
All right, so everyone wants to know what's next for you. You got a lot going on, but what can we look forward to?
What's next will be, we have, so the acting company that I'm a part of is called The Characters, and we have lots of projects coming up that we've been working on or that are in post-production, which means they're being edited and waiting to drop and waiting to be released. We had a wonderful short film that I happened to be in, that was set to be hitting festivals, but then, like you said, 2020 happened. It's like, okay, so that's on hold right now. However, that's all still coming. It's all in the works. I'm the head writer of The Characters, and we also
Awesome,
have a writing team now. Yeah, so shout out to The
amazing.
Characters.
Growth, there we
And
go. Expanding.
hello. So we have lots of projects coming up, whether it be short films, web series, Instagram series that we've created content for. So those are the things that I'm excited for, in terms of what's next as an actor, as a performer. And then as an author, I've had a couple of books that I've written that are really like really children's books, definitely specifically for kids, because Part of a Dream, although it's written like for children, it's for anybody of any age. However, I've written a couple of books for a Stanley series inspired by my son, Stanley. And I would like to publish that next. Those will be my next books to publish within this series. I do need to find an illustrator for those because kids need to see
Oh, you know
pictures.
what? The Ashe Academy has some great illustrators to put you in contact with.
You
We
know
got
what?
you.
You see, this
There
is
we
why
go.
we have the conversations. You
Hmm.
do your dream, and then you doing your dream, and you can be a blessing to others. I need
There we
someone who
go.
can draw. I can't draw for nothing. So
Oh yeah, we got to handle
look
it.
at God.
We got a network for that. The
Look at God.
ecosystem.
Look at
Um,
God.
hallelujah.
Yeah.
So lastly, I would just like you to plug anything else. How can people get in contact with you? What are the handles? Go for it.
Um.
Anything you want to list out. We'll put it in the description box too.
Okay, cool. So definitely shout out to the characters. Stay watchful for what we have coming up, dropping soon. Our Instagram is at the characters. And my personal Instagram is Nefertiti.Warren. I put most of my stuff there. I am on Facebook, but I'm not as active on Facebook as I am with Instagram. So I would say just go to my Instagram and you can find links to everything else that way. Yeah, I think that's my
Website.
last plug. Oh, my website, thank you. The website for my book is rightthroughme.bigcartel.com. That's where you can purchase your copy. And so you can also get it through Barnes& and Noble online. However, if you purchase it through my specific website, you will get a signed copy, which will be signed specifically to your child or your children. You just tell me the name of your child or children in the notes section at checkout, and I will write a personal note to them. And I promise you, everybody gets a personal, unique note. I'm not sitting here writing the same thing for everybody.
It's
Like,
not stamped.
nope,
Thank you.
it is not stamped, so it is a personal note written to your child that another child is not going to have the same thing. And then on my website, that's where you can also get the encouragement packet, where you cannot get that on Barnes and Noble. So yeah, so check all of those
It's
things out.
amazing. We thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you so
us, Nefertiti
much.
Warren, everyone. And we are looking forward to all that you have in store. We will keep track of what you got going on. And, we're very proud of you over at the Ashe Academy.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much. All right, everyone. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.